Welcome to I don't know Unity. I'm not gonna really number these, but this would be like the second game kit controller one. So number two. Today I'm gonna be setting up a vehicle in GameKit controller. It's pretty easy, and I'm sure I'm doing it the wrong way. So I will probably add some sort of addendum to this thing. So if you check out number one sometime, let's see, we made this little penguin guy, and so he runs around and stuff. I haven't done anything to really optimize him. And so here we go. We made this garbage truck. This is so again, the penguin is something my kid has a stuffed animal of, and the other thing he loves is garbage trucks. So there's a couple things that are kind of funny about this. Like you kind of see like the little Ollie penguin is hanging out down there at the bottom. I'm sure there's a way to fix that that I'll look into. But the car moves around, and there you go. Now, in case I forget something, I'm going to just kind of walk through a quick overview because as I actually do this, I'm sure there will be something that I forget. So there's like a car prefab, and you can go into here and GameKit controller, create new vehicle. I ended up just kind of like throwing everything on top of that car, and this is where I'm sure the developer is going to be like the of GameKit controller is going to be like, this isn't how you do it. But it worked, and it wasn't too bad, and I'll like I said, I'll figure out what the different way to do it is. So let's see. I don't know if I can. Okay. Okay, so in the GameCube controller prefabs vehicles, I used the car guy, and let's see. So I'm going to create a new scene for this and pause it. Just want to kind of show that because I'm going to set up a couple things. I'll probably throw the car in there and the garbage truck. I'm probably going to ignore Ollie and just use like the default character and throw him in there. But there you go. That's kind of an overview. This car, throw these things on top of it, and then it was working. Now, like I said, this is certainly I'm like 100% sure this is not the correct way to do it. So again, I'll make a better version sometime, but I'm sure I can have him throw in some comments in the video at the bottom or inside of it until it's fixed. And I would say I believe there is an actual tutorial of this. The one that I found was like the work in progress explanation, so it was a little bit different. I'm gonna try and stop and start this as I go through things. So I've added in this car from Prefab's Vehicles, and then I found this garbage truck. I don't know where it went. Oh, this is not gonna be the right folder. Found this garbage truck on Unity Assets for free, and that's this one here. And I know I could probably change it in the menu, but I just kind of scaled it up from right here. I think it was like 5 or something. Okay, so with the garbage truck and the car, I unpacked the prefab because I found that just kind of the easiest, simple, fastest way to get going here. And nothing about this production kind of grade. The garbage truck has a number of components on it, and all of them like show up right there for their like point of starting. So there's part of the chassis. And if you take a look at the car, I think it's in car. So chassis is probably good. There's like front, left. There's transformers. There's a little gas tank on it. So there's a lot of cool things it can do. And obviously, like some of this stuff is going to be outside the scope of playing around with this right now. But like my truck has gas tanks. I could probably flip my screen upside down. Like that's usable. That's usable in the long run. And so, getting back to kind of how this all got set up for me, let's take the car and the garbage truck, and let's do like I think I want them at like 90 or something, and let's just move the car kind of this way a little bit, and that way. And if we go to 2D, we can probably see them. So there's a piece of this where really I just took the garbage truck components and put them over the top of the car and just let the car be itself. So there is definitely in-game kit controller. There's create a new vehicle and you can put stuff on it. I couldn't figure that one out. So we'll come back to that another day. What I'm going to do is go to the car here, and I think the wheels were the place where it was easiest to get started. So if I take my garbage truck, I'm trying to think, I think I just like put it underneath the chassis piece here. Okay, hitting play with that garbage truck over the top of it, and ran over here, and oh, why can't I get in the normal car? I'm not a big fan of how like the particle effects just kind of stay on this stuff. So I'll ask around about like how to remove that. There is a nice little tutorial screen that comes up when you're like in the car. I think it kind of comes up every time, and I'm sure there's a way to disable it. But it kind of talks through like what the defaults are. So there we go. We got the truck kind of sitting on top of it, and that's where I started from. And I'm gonna align kind of everything with this, and I'll probably talk about the wheels a little bit because that part seems to be a little tricky. You can jump with the car. It's got like a super high default jump, I feel like. I think you can also like double jump, I'm not sure. It's got like a zoomy mode. Yeah. There's some fun stuff with it. Okay, so the wheels were really kind of the only thing that like took a little while doing this method, and so basically, you've got the wheel transformer and the wheel collider, and I didn't know what colliders were, like what they what they kind of looked like in here. I don't know why you can't see it like I used to be able to see it. Maybe I need like the gizmos on. Yeah, there we go. So you got the little round like circle and matches up with the tire, and all of that is used by the game kit controller. And so we took these guys and just kind of moved them to where my front tire was. And there we go. The tires in this truck were kind of weird in numbering. I think the front right is 2. Yeah, so let's undo that. And then I think I just took it and dragged it into there. So there we go. That tire should kind of match up with that tire. And then I'm going to do it for the back right here, only because there was something that was like just a little bit funny. And I'm doing the mesh too because, why not? Even though I don't really, I turn the mesh off later. Boom. That looks good. And so you can see there's like 2 tires on this, 3 and 4. Let's double check that. Yep, undo. And so I'm gonna drag those into this rear right location. And probably from this point here, I will just kind of speed up what I. Okay, so they're kind of matched up here. Yeah, that's adequate. Let's run over there. We can drive the thing around. And the wheels, some part of the wheels are spinning. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do this. Let's go to the scene. Let's do that. Let's see if this is how I wanted it to be. So these are the real like meshes that were on the car before. So we're gonna just toggle those guys off. Cool. Okay. Now I think I've done what I wanted to do. I like how his like body leans back at certain angles. Like, whoa, check out that penguin. There's no penguin over there, but that's what he would say. So, oh, weird. Kind of into penguins. All right, so there you go. My tires look like they're bouncing because it's not really centered, but They are the tires, like spinning, maybe? I think they're spinning. It looks like spinning to me, so yeah, cool. I'm just gonna take the chassis of like the big garbage truck parts, and it's kind of already there, I think. And yeah, I don't think I have to do anything special. So I'm gonna turn off all of these car meshes, like the original car. Now, the one thing I would say is like if I just turned all of them off, I don't even remember which ones, but as I went through some of this, like you can see there's car mesh parts, blah blah blah. I'll try it again. I feel like when I just turned off all of that, right? It doesn't get everything. Oh shoot, I didn't stop it. Okay, so let's go over to the car mesh parts. And so I think the first time I tried this, I just turned them all off, and then the car was like bouncing around all weird. And I think that's because I turned off something else, like these little runners or something. I don't know. Oh, and there's like shields and stuff and like bumper damage and things like that that you could move those around and they'd be kind of in the right spot, I guess. I think I played with that, and then you could shoot them. Okay, so now we just kind of have these little yellow guys moving in and out, which is fine. That's cool. I think if this garbage truck or like a semi truck or something was a little separated and you wanted to, you could kind of make it a little hacky where you put like the front chassis on those pieces. I didn't try that. I'm not going to try it because I just feel like it was going to look weird and I didn't want to mess around with it too long. Okay, so going back over here, and I think I just kind of like clicked on the parts I wanted to hide and found them, like their actual mesh. Yeah, so here we go. Front left, these mud guards. Let's try it. Let's just turn them off completely. And maybe there's some other stuff in here, but none of it seems to be showing aside from that gun. So I'll just live with it now. Ah, darn it, I did it again. Well, let's see. Yeah, yeah. See how these do like something super weird? This happened to me. I don't know why that happens. And again, I don't. I have no faith that I'm doing this the right way. So I'll just live with that. Okay. So the mud guards. I think. Yeah. So I think if I just turn off the mesh render on all of these, it still does like the other stuff. So it looks like I don't know. There's the script here, box clad. I don't know what would be messing those up. But obviously it's something. So taking just the mesh renderer off made it like I don't see those, but it still does whatever it was doing to work, which is great. Let's hit play again. Now is the car bouncing? Okay, car's not bouncing. Let's go back to the scene view. The last things I did, let's see, I didn't really want to see the gun here, which if you were doing something interesting, like you could change where its mounted point is or like its transform a little bit. So this is the explosive barrel mesh. Where it shoots from, I think, is like this projectile position. You could usually, once you get a feel for it, you can kind of usually tell what each one is doing. The one other thing I did, let's see. So here's like the interface. It's inside the car right now, and that's no good if I wanted to like have the first person cab view. So I'm gonna back up a little bit, try and see the cab more, and drag that right into. That's good enough for me. Fine. Um, so I'll show this real quick because it'll like it's not that special to understand, but it is worth it a little bit to kind of see how some things work with the cameras in here. Oh, and also I don't remember where I did it or how, but like this turn on the car thing, I think I moved it over like to the left. And like I don't know how I did it, but like it's obviously highlighting all of the car when you're looking at that. Like looks like all the garbage truck is highlighted, which is pretty cool. I didn't do anything special to make that up. All right, so V, you can see it at the bottom there, gets us into a different view, right? And now I'm looking at a steering wheel that is like from inside the cab, which is kind of weird and dumb. But I don't think I even need to get out of play mode to kind of show this and then call this good. So car camera, shoot, where was it? Regular pivot? No, no, that doesn't look right. Okay, somewhere in here is a camera, like controller. Other cameras, maybe? Let's take a look. First person camera pivot, and then I just dragged this guy, like, I don't know, about so. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm in the cab. I can drive around. I can see the velocity of the car. I can change these like jump power things. I don't really do that. That's pretty. I mean, there's a lot of features in there, right? Like you can turn the interface on and off. There's lights. There's a horn. I don't know what happened when I tried to click that. Oh, definitely shooting the gun though. So maybe yeah, and I think later like these will come into play at least for what I do with this little game because um, I want to maybe have like the garbage truck pick stuff up and the little penguin can drive it around and things like that. So I don't know what will happen next. I think I'm going to try and configure a little animal next because there is the stuffed animal penguin and then there is a panda penguin and we're going to try and make panda penguin. There's a panda stuffed animal.